All right, everybody. Welcome back to the print, week 15. Before we dive in and kind of reevaluate week 14, I got a story for you guys. Actually, before I tell you the story, y'all go ahead and lean up. You got your merch on. I love it. Let me see those. Let me see those hoodies. Fantasy Blueprint hoodies. They looking good, baby.
Oh yeah,
They do look good. Dang,
they
I
do
can't
look
wait to get
good.
mine. Thanks, Cole. Just kidding.
Uh,
Oh man, so what a week. This has been a crazy week. This is probably going to be my best week of fantasy football because it's the least amount of research I've done. So I can't wait. But before we do, I got to tell you a story. So this week I have been called upon to be the PA announcer at the Ferret basketball games. So I've got to do the DJ work, and I've also got to do the call outs and all that stuff. Let me tell you how it went for me.
yeah.
Before I even turned on the microphone to get going, or as soon as I turned on the microphone to get going, you know that noise that a microphone makes when it's too loud? It makes you want to cut your ears off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that happened. That happened 3 times before I could figure out what the heck was going on. I choked under the pressure. So that did not go well. The second thing did not go well. The ball has been tipped for the first quarter, and I fat finger the Star Spangled Banner 2 dribbles into the first quarter. So all of a sudden you hear the national anthem blaring as these guys are trying to set up for their first offensive set. So everybody's looking at me. I'm like, I'm an idiot. And then it gets worse because tonight I had the girls' game. So I'm feeling confident. I've got it under my belt. I can figure this out. Well, at the gym, they don't have like an actual physical flag. They put it on the dang projector. And I'm about halfway through the national anthem when I look up and I realize, holy crap, you dumb idiot. You forgot to click the flag slide. So everybody's pledging allegiance to the 3 Circle Church because it was the advertisement up there. And I'm sitting there like, oh, you idiot. So, boys, let's just put it this way: pressure and Britain do not mix very well. Choked big time.
Let's hope you're more locked in tonight than you were at the basketball game.
Yeah, you're gonna find out quick that the
That's
lock
an
is
unfair
not in.
situation that they put you in, man. That's on
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of pressure for and no practice in front of about 1,000 people to go out there and try and get it all right. Honestly, you should have just went with it. As soon as you started playing the national anthem after tips, you just stood up and put your hand over your heart. Just did it twice. Did it twice.
Who decided just to piss on America and use a slide as the flag and not just go?
I know, dude. I know. I mean, put a real flag up there. Come on.
I'm
Now.
glad you left that up there, not embarrass the country by putting the power slide of a flag up there.
That sounds like
Yeah,
classic high
bad.
school basketball, man. It's the projector screen with the flag on it to try and get it over as quick as possible. What a shame. What happened? What happened to this country?
We used to be a proper country.
Yeah.
Now we're putting that power slides.
Oh man. Well, I just figured y'all would get a good laugh out of my week this week because
I'd like to make a shout out too before we get started. I've been watching this team practice for weeks, youth league basketball. Clap it up for Britton Flowers starting off the season 2-0 with this squad. Clap it up. Clap it up.
Yeah. 2-0 with 2 20+ wins, boys.
Wow.
We're rolling.
That's coaching because I watched those kids in practice on those videos.
Yeah.
I heard the scouting report. He gave me a scouting report before the season started. I won't tell you exactly what he said, but to start off 2-0, very good start for those guys.
What's y'all's strengths? What do y'all do best? Shooting, dribbling. What's
strengths?
Yeah. How y'all scoring? How y'all winning by 20? If you're with these kids you're underestimating.
It's called stacking the draft. You get 2 guys that should have been first rounders, and that's how you do it. Because actually, I'll take this back. We're actually shooting the ball well. None of that matters. We're 2-0. We got to get rolling, boys, or we're gonna be here for an hour and a half talking. But Cole, I appreciate the shout out. I needed that confidence tonight after the absolute dropping of the balls the last couple of weeks. Pause. But let's recap week 14 for a second. Gabe, I got to give you your props, man. You absolutely dominated the core four. I'll read this out to you if you haven't seen the TikTok channel. Zach Charbonnet, 4,800 salary, projected 14. He went for 41. Isaac Girinado, or Giriendo, sorry, I can't say that name. 5,400 projected 16, had 26. And then also Baker Mayfield at 6,400 projected 19, had 22. The only one where it was kind of close was TJ Hawkins that projected 12 and had 8. But outside of that, I mean, you want to talk about A+++, as Cole commented on the on the TikTok channel. It was a great week for Gabe. And then Cole, I got to give you your props from last week. Jawan Johnson, great pickup. He was projected 10, had 15. I believe he caught a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Did I make that up?
He did. He caught a touchdown.
Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't have it in my notes. But both you guys, awesome job last week. I thought that there were some good plays out there, and I thought y'all nailed a lot of them. So it was cool to see that. You know who absolutely let us down last week, though? Freaking AI. Well, Levis. Well, that's on me. But AI, Drake London, just absolutely crapped the bed last week. We put a lot of faith in that.
I'm not gonna go as far as he crapped the bed. He didn't get a goose egg like Cooper Kupp did last night.
Yeah, that's true.
All you people in the fantasy playoffs, including myself, with Cooper Kupp in the first round, pour one out.
Yeah,
it's over. Your season's over.
Also, there's somebody that's dodging blame. Alvin Kamara had 12 against the Giants.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure we bring that up as well.
Yeah.
And then Cole, I got to bring this up, buddy. I got to bring this up real quick. I owe you. And if Gabe has this picture, he probably needs to go on the TikTok channel, because my face said it all last week when you drafted Sammy D. And I owe you. I owe you an apology, because not only did Sammy D say hold my beer, he said hold 5 touchdowns and absolutely dominated. So I'd like to take this chance to apologize, because I had no faith in you, and he was awesome. So enough recap for week 14. Moving on to week 15. Let's talk value plays based off matchups, based off what we like, based off injuries. We'll start with the QB position. Cole, you nailed the QB last week, so I'm gonna give it to you again this week. You start us off with QBs.
Tell you what, this guy, he's definitely a friend of the pod, and he's Britain's best friend. But he jumped out to me. He's jumping out to me right now at 5,000. Mayo man Will Levis once again, baby, against Cincinnati.
I like
terrible.
It. I'm scared to pick him.
Cincy is terrible defense. Horrible defense.
They're getting lit up more than the Christmas trees around here right now.
Yes. We need it. We're expecting a breakout game from Will Levis this week against Cincinnati. Calvin Ridley is going to be somebody that I'm definitely picking as well. Another guy I've got is Bryce Young, 5,300. Dallas is not a great defense either. Bryce Young's kind of maybe back to Bama Bryce.
I think he's back.
Momentum and confidence going his way. Why not sling that tater around this Sunday and go buck wild? Last guy.
I like it.
Last guy I have value-wise, QB position. Gosh dang it. Aaron Rodgers, 5,400.
It was coming.
Jacksonville defense. I told him, I said this in the past, I'll always pick against Jacksonville. Jack's bad. 100%. Aaron Rodgers and his weapons break out again. Expecting a big game from those guys.
I like it, man. Gabe, what you got QB-wise?
I definitely have Aaron Rodgers in there. Breece Hall is supposedly going to be back this week. He practiced fully on Friday.
Sweet.
I don't want to spend too much time on Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to go more towards 3 other guys. Tua at 6,100 against Houston, with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle seemingly back to their proper form as they were before he got injured. And then you got Bo Nix and Kyler Murray. Bo Nix, 6,300 against the Colts. And then Kyler Murray, 6,000 against the Patriots. think those are three really affordable guys around 6,000 with good matchups and some really good players around them. I think out of those three, I think I'm leaning Tua the most just because of the arsenal of weapons he has, and Houston's pretty good offense. I see that being one of those games we stack a lot of players from.
Yeah,
But that rounds out my QBs.
sweet. I've got some of the same as you guys. Cole, I've obviously got Will Levis as always in mind because he's starting to play better and he's so cheap. Aaron Rodgers was on my list as well, but the kind of the guy I've got circled for this week is Justin Herbert. He's been cleared to play Sunday. He's playing against the Tampa Bay defense at 5,900 salary. They're 32nd to the QB position in fantasy points scoring per week. So Justin Herbert at 5,900, I really like this week. Kind of a mid-level salary, but projection-wise, he's projected over 20. So I feel like there could be a good opportunity for Justin Herbert here to get a lot of fantasy points against that Tampa Bay defense, who's been shredded a lot this year. So that's kind of like the main value, the target I see this week, outside of the other ones that we've already talked about from you guys. But moving to running backs this week, week 15. Gabe, start us off running back wise. What do you see value wise out there?
Yeah, not a lot of major injury news to track. Bucky Irving, he was questionable. He's practicing. Brees Hall was questionable. He's practicing. Tony Pollard also questionable, and he's practicing. But what do the Titans really have to play for at this point, besides the draft picks? So I could see maybe Tony Pollard sitting out, and if he does Tajay Spears, it'd be a really, really good play, I think. But besides that, I have been bitten by not playing this guy a few times. And with Eckler out, Brian Robinson at 6,200 against the Saints, I'm gonna lean heavy on that. He's a workhorse there, and then also Chuba Hubbard 6,500 against Dallas. Jonathan Brooks tore his ACL. Miles Sanders is on IR. He has a clear path to just an absolute workhorse role at 6,500. I mean, targets galore, carries against a bad defense. Love that play. And the last two, Rico Dowdle and Ramondre Stevenson. Rico Dowdle's had two back-to-back 100-yard games. He's kind of getting like crazy amount of usage with Ezekiel Elliott, kind of just being mid and old and fat. Ramondre Stevenson, 5,900 against the Cardinals. The Cardinals defense, believe it or not, is actually not playing bad. So
it's playing better for sure.
I really only like Stevenson if you're wanting a touchdown out of him, because I think Gibson and some of those other running backs, they're leaning a lot heavier on Drake May's arm right now. So Stevenson, he's a good play, but don't get tricked by that 5,900. That's basically 6,000. That's 18 points that you need out of Ramondre, and I'm just not sure if I'm leaning into it fully.
Yeah, no, that's good. Cole, what you got for us?
Yeah, I definitely put down Brian Robinson as my first choice. That should be option number one for me at 6,200. Bad Saints defense. It's tough to watch every Sunday, but they actually played pretty good against the Giants. I was surprised, but they're 25th against the rush, and Eckler's on the IR, so I expect a bunch of carries. Another guy that I put down was Chase Brown at 7,200. High floor guy. I think a lot of attention is going to be on the outside for this game. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, that connection's always seems to work out. So with that attention on the outside, less pressure on the box, Chase Brown getting open, getting running room. So those are my two guys that I have picked. I'll take a look into Rico Dowdle, but I'm not a believer yet. Definitely not a believer in Ramondre Stevenson. But I'm not picking Bucky Irving if my life depends on it this week. He bucked me so bad last week that I'm scared to pick him ever again. So shout out to back tightness. I get that once a week. I still go to work. Why can't you do it too?
Once a week.
Those are my guys.
Oh, man, I'm going to keep it simple on the running backs side of things. I actually echo Gabe here with Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowell. I really like Chuba Hubbard. He's kind of by himself at 6,500. He's going to get all the work. He's getting some catches too. So really like him at the price that he's at. And then Rico Dowell, like you said, coming off 100-yard rushing performance. Did you say back-to-back weeks, I believe, if my research is right? Yep. So back-to-back weeks, 100-yard games. he's playing pretty good, and he's sitting at 6,100. So I like the price for the production that he's had the last 2 weeks. So the two running backs I had circled is Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dow. I do like Brian Robinson as well at 6,200. Not a bad pickup for sure, and he'll be the workhorse for the Commanders moving forward with Eckler on IR. So I really like what was said so far on the running back side of things, but we'll shift gears to receiver. Gabe, what do you have for us receiver wise value?
Yeah, so this is a guy that I'm going to quote Chris Collinsworth here. Now, here's a guy that's kind of been sitting up around 6,500 salary, kind of been, based on his matchup, and he's back down to 5,500. And that's Marvin Harrison Jr. All right, that's not my Chris Collinsworth impression. Sucks, but that was it. I just don't see how. Yeah, Cole shaking his head. Cole didn't like it. Cole's not a fan. Do you not like Marvin Harrison Jr. or do you not like Chris Collinsworth? Which one is it?
Man, I'll tell you.
Both? Okay. Anyway,
I've seen more separation at a nightclub on the dance floor than I have with Marvin Harrison on the football field.
That is a great visual. Okay. Dalton Schultz last week or a week before kind of had the same kind of phenomena where his price keeps dropping, he's just bound for a rebound. I'm expecting Marvin Harrison Jr. to bounce back this week. Tyreek Hill, 7,400. Britton paid the piper on that one last week. He still, for some reason, hasn't gone up in price after a 30-point performance. I'm expecting him to have another good week. I really like it. I still think there's a ton of value at that price point. And then Noah Brown's out for the Washington Redskins. We can call them the Redskins now. They got the rights to the image back, so I imagine their name's going to go back. So no need to cancel us for that one. De'Ami Brown, 2,100 for the Commanders, got a whole lot of work when Noah Brown went out last week in the second half. And then my last one, I'm not going to steal too many of you guys', but I'm going Tank Dell against Miami. I think Jalen Ramsey, Jalen Ramsey's still playing, I think he'll kind of fade towards Nico Collins and try to take him away. And maybe Tank Dell can break loose for a couple big plays. Usually that Tank Dell, Nico Collins salary separation isn't this great. Typically they're a lot closer, because you're trying to pick one or the other, which one's going to go off. But Tank Dell's kind of fallen down. So I'm leaning more towards Tank Dell as a contrarian play to Nico Collins, since they're trying to entice you with that 8,100, making you think that he's a lock. He's a sure thing. I'm going Tank Dell.
Gabe or Cole, what you got for us?
All right. I'm starting it off with a real gym rat, a sneaky athlete with good route running, good speed. Ladd McConkey at 6,300. So what I'm thinking is going on with the Chargers right now is J.K. Dobbins got hurt. They're like, Gus Edwards isn't going to do it for us. The Gus bus is out of gas. So they've been trying to pass the ball more and get the balls to Ladd McConkey and just keep it in Justin Herbert's hand and let him make the plays. So I'm going Ladd McConkey as my number one guy. And then number two, Cortland Sutton, 6,600 against Indy. I believe he's figured it out. Big Britton Flowers fan. Flowers picks him every week. Can't go wrong. I'm sure he's going to pick him this week. He's a good player. He's a star. He's a first option. My last guy is Garrett Wilson. And I don't want to do it. Everything against my will is telling me not to do it at 6,500 against Jacksonville. But I'm going to do it. And I'm going to fall on the spear one more time because he just had a 21-point game last week. And he's just so gifted athletically. So he's got to do something for me this week, or else he might end up with Deebo Samuel in the depths of no-touch hell.
Gabe, I'll take the floor if you don't mind here, brother, on receivers. So I had Garrett Wilson in my lineup, but now that Cole has said Garrett Wilson, I am going Devontae Adams heavy here because I have seen Cole pick Garrett Wilson before, and I have seen the bombs that ensue from picking Garrett Wilson. So I'm gonna shift gears a little bit, go in the opposite direction. I'm going Devontae Adams at receiver at 6,900.
I feel like that's a call out right there. That's messed up,
Yeah.
man.
So the reason being, and again, both of them had a great week last week. Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams had fantastic weeks last week. Pretty similar in price, but again, I feel like I feel like every time I try to give Garrett Wilson a chance, it comes back to absolutely bite me in the butt. So I'm gonna zag here and go Devontae Adams. Uh, Coming off a really good week last week with a 28-point fantasy performance. I believe I'm looking at it now. He had 9 catches, 109 yards and tub. So I will go heavy Devontae Adams this week. And then, Cole, I hate to do this to you, but I'm zagging again. We're going to have a massive rivalry this week. I'm going Quentin Johnson at 5,000 to stack with my boy Justin Herbert. Coming off 7 target, 5 catches, 48 yards, and a touchdown last week. Relatively cheap. You know, he's always a risk because he's got the case of droppies. He
Yeah, I was
has
gonna
a
say,
chance to
Britton, you're gonna
drop
drop the
from time
ball
to
on
time.
this one, and so is
Yeah,
Quentin
there's a good
Johnson.
chance that there's a good chance. Look, here's the evil plan behind the scenes. It's not evil. It's actually a good plan. Gabe, all right, Cole, I'm trying to help you, brother, because everybody that I touch burns. Brock
You're
Bowers
not.
last week,
Here's the thing. Here's the
burn.
thing. Here's the thing, Britton. You're not trying to help us. We're not trying to help each other. What's going to happen is we're really helping Josh Palmer have the game of his career.
Yeah,
That's what's happening
no
here.
doubt, no
So
doubt. Um, but those are the. In all seriousness, I do have Quentin Johnson circled for this game against Tampa Bay. I'm not a huge, believer in Quentin Johnson, but I'm throwing a dart, thinking it's going to land there this week, um, because I do believe that one of the receivers against Tampa Bay will have a fantastic week. So it'll probably change by the time we put out our lineups because I've got enough flack on watching Quentin Johnson drop. So,
Toss
Gabe,
it back
you
to
can take the floor on receivers.
I got one more, and then you guys didn't mention this, and I thought maybe you would, but Zay Flowers is at 6,000 salary against the
Yeah.
Giants. Shake your head, no. Okay, this guy's had a good year. Okay, he hasn't had a bad season.
yeah,
He's had plenty of games above 20 points. Okay, he's one of those boomer busts for sure. He's very volatile, but if the Giants decide to stack the box and make Lamar Jackson have to play like Josh Allen, Zay Flowers is definitely a reasonably priced receiver at 6,000 with a lot of big play potential in the prime of his career. So, just a guy
Like
you
it.
can think about.
I like it. Gabe, we'll transition to tight ends here. We talked about it before Cole popped on, so go ahead and take the floor and give us your smart pick for this week.
Yeah, your 7-Eleven, play of the day is what we're going to start calling it because they're open 24/7. Is what I'm going to start calling it. It's Stone Smart 2,600 for the Los Angeles Chargers with Will Dissly ruled out and Hayden Hurst on the IR. He had 56 yards last week on 4 catches, I think, maybe 4 or 5 catches after Dissly went out. 3 catches? Okay.
3
After
catches,
Dissly went
54
out.
yards.
Yeah. Very, very low price tight end. Pretty much the minimum price you can get for a tight end. And if you like Justin Herbert against a bad pass defense, you can't pass up on a tight end at 2,600 on that team. Okay. And something weird about Dalton Schultz at 3,300. He's playing better recently, and his salary keeps dropping. So that's a very affordable price for a number 1 tight end in a really good offense. And then Jake Ferguson, 3,800 is the lowest he's been all season. I think Schoonmaker did a really good job when he was out. And so I think Ferguson's he's not dominating the tight end snap. So I don't love that one as much. But I think he's still reasonable if you want to throw a dart at him. But Calcaterra at 3,500 for the Eagles had a touchdown last week, and Goddard is on the IR. So they'll be leaning on him pretty heavy to be on the field at the tight end position when they need some plays. And A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, apparently they don't like each other now. So Jalen Hurts might not be looking towards old number 11 for the Eagles. He might be looking away from him. So that's all I'm saying.
I like it, baby. I like it. Cole, what you got for us?
Well, I'll tell you what. Stone Smart was a name I was not expecting to hear on this podcast. So let me get this straight. We picked Quentin Johnson, Lab McConkey, and Stone Smart. So that means there's only one person left that's going to end up getting all these catches. Josh Palmer, get ready. You're about to make millions. Who wants to be a millionaire? I'll tell you who. Joshua Palmer. This dude is about to go buck wild. This dude's about to go crazy. But my value tight ends, I'm with Britain's favorite saying of "Kiss, keep it simple, stupid." This guy is not really famous. He's dating somebody named Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce at 5,700. I feel like if he's under 6,000, you got to take it. And then another keep it simple, stupid is Mark Andrews at 4,100 against the Giants. Every time I play him, he seems to go bad, but he went good last week when I picked him in some lineups. So it's too cheap to turn down. So I'm gonna go with him. And then Zach Ertz, because he's a Saints killer. Keep your eye on that.
Saints killer.
I like it. My tight ends for this week, after talking with Gabe, Stone Smart is definitely going to be on my list for sure. Another guy to keep an eye out for is Brenton Strange. Gabe and I talked about this briefly. He's at 2,500 with Evan Ingram going to IR. The problem with him is Mac Jones. He'll be the number one option at tight end. You're just dealing with a quarterback that you don't know what you're going to get week to week. Really, week to week, it's been pretty bad. So Brenton Strange, maybe catch a touchdown, maybe get lucky, 2,500. I really like the price there. Stone Smart was on there. And then Cole, again, I kind of agree with you. Travis Kelce under 6,000 is hard not to go his direction because he just gets so many targets every week for the majority of the season. So it's hard to pick against Travis Kelce there. But that's kind of where I landed on the tight ends. I also think Calcaterra has a lot of value too. Jalen Hurts is just not throwing the ball a ton. So that would be my only concern is the yardage that you can gain through the air on the Philadelphia Eagles offense right now. It seems that they're kind of wanting to run the rock. So that is the risk with Calcaterra at 3,500. But he is so cheap, it's kind of worth it if you want to take that gamble. But let's kind of transition here to core four. I've been tinkering with my core four this entire time that we've been talking. So if my eyes look glazed over, it's because I've been trying to figure out how I want to attack this. So I'll go first. Why not? So my core four for this week, and it may change by the time we drop all this stuff on Saturday and Sunday. But off the jump, I've got Justin Herbert against Tampa Bay. I really like the matchup for him. He cleared availability, so he doesn't have an injury designation for Sunday, so I really like that. Stone Smart is going to be my stack with Justin Herbert. He's so cheap, it allows you to get a lot more value in other places. And with him being the number one tight end option against a crappy defense, it's kind of a smart play, so to speak, to play off his name. And then Chuba Hubbard is my go-to running back this week. I'm kind of with you guys. We talked a lot about this, but with him being basically the only running back they have, he's had a good season so far, getting a lot of touchdowns. I really like Chuba Hubbard at 6,500. And then finally, my last slot, Cole, I gave you crap for this, but I'm going right to him. Garrett Wilson. So Devontae Adams, you're on my fantasy. Hey, hold on. Devontae Adams is on my season-long fantasy. You better go off, son, because I just saved you.
That's funny.
All right, Cole, what you got? Cole, what you got? Core four.
Oh, he lost audio. Let me save this. Oh no. Oh, what is going on? Uh-oh. All right, look, let me save this pod. Let me dead air. We're dead air out here.
Dead air.
I'm going Stone Smart, 2,600. Britton, I don't want to just go full copy but I had Chuba Hubbard at 6,500, but I think I'm going to change it, actually. I think I'm going to go Brian Robinson at 6,200 so we
Ooh,
don't have the same core four.
nice.
And then I'm going Tank Dell at 5,400 and De'Ami Brown 3,100. Those are going to be my core four guys.
I like it. I
Cool.
like it better if you would have stuck with Hubbard, but that's all right.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, y'all can hear me. All right, my earphones cut out there for a second, so I've been talking this whole time, and I don't know if you hear or not. So, my core four, I'm going with Aaron Rodgers, old man in the sea here, Brian Robinson Jr. I'll tell you what, I had Mark Andrews, but I'm going to take him out because I'm not going to let Gabe get the satisfaction of picking Stone Smart because I know he's got him in his core four. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of picking that 2,600 salary guy and getting a perfect grade again. So I'm taking Mark Andrews out and putting Stone Smart in. So I'll get a grade. That's good.
How bad do you want to be me? Okay, that's all I'm hearing right now. Is that you just want to be just like your big brother. That's all I'm hearing.
Not giving you the satisfaction of picking him and just get him getting 5 points and you get an A+ this week because of this nonsense.
Because you identified a good value play. I don't want to give you credit for being smart and playing a good fantasy, assembling a good fantasy football lineup. Basically, is what I'm hearing.
And then my last one's Garrett Wilson. We'll see. I don't like it, but we'll see.
I like it. Well, we'll post the AI Gabe's model AI optimal lineups on our TikTok channel, so stay posted for that. But we'll give our lineups right now, and they could change by the time this drops, either later tonight or Saturday. By the time the games kick off on Sunday, but right now, Gabe, can you give us your optimal lineup for Week 15?
Yeah, I got you. So I'm going to go here with Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback, Derrick Henry, Chuba Hubbard, and then De'Ami Brown, Tank Dell, Tyreek Hill, stack with Tua Tagovailoa, Stone Smart. Then to round it off, I'm going Joe Mixon against Miami, who's at 7,800. A guy we didn't mention on the higher end of running backs, but he's a pretty cheap price at 7,800 for his standards. With how he's been playing this year with his dual threat ability, he's averaging 23.3 fantasy points a game. That's about where he's priced at 7,800. So and then I'm going to round it out with the Steelers defense against Philly because I had 2,800 with some of the salary I saved. So I'll go Steelers defense. They got some players.
I like it. Cole, what you got?
All right, so at my quarterback position, I'm going Aaron Rodgers. And if he doesn't perform, then I'm having my own darkness retreat at about 115, where I will be taking a nap. My second guy is Chase Brown. Second running back is Brian Robinson Jr. Terry McLaurin is going to be my wide receiver.
Ooh.
Cortland Sutton, Garrett Wilson, and I've taken out Mark Andrews and I've put in Stone Smart.
Stony.
2,600.
You can't do this, man. You can't do this. You cannot trash the picks and then trail them. That's not how this works. You can't do that.
Sorry,
well,
Cole, I did it too, buddy.
I did it, and I
No,
made
you
a bad.
don't trash the picks though, Brendan. You can you trail them, but you're supportive. This dude trails them and bashes them.
Well, the reason I like bashing them is because whenever I lose, I can just be like, "Way to go, Gabe! You just took $3 from me this weekend." And you know what I did? I said during the running back portion, I was like, "I don't trust this guy." I went ahead and put Ramondre Stevenson as my flex. Ramondre is going to be.
He just made Gabe disappear. He literally disappeared off the screen.
But I could change it here. I had the New England defense pick. I could go cheaper and pick another defense like the Saints. Well, no, not the Saints, but I don't know. I might stick with New England. But
did you have Brian Robinson in your lineup or no?
I did. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Brian Robinson's in my lineup. This is like RB2, second running back. So
just you guys track that Tony Pollard news. If Tony Pollard doesn't play, you got to put
Tyjae
Tyjae Spears in every single team.
Yep.
And Cole,
100%.
you were real. No. You can't do this. Last week you said I'm not trusting any backup running backs unless their names. Or I don't even know who'd you say it was. You're like, I'm not trusting any backup running backs unless their name was what?
Jordan Mason and Charbonnet.
You did not say Ann Charbonnet. That is cap.
I said Charbonnet. I'm pretty sure I said. I'm pretty sure I said Charbonnet. I'm pretty sure I said
He said
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he said it.
Garindo last week, you were like, I don't know, 26 points. Okay. Also, Gus Edwards had a touchdown last week, and he's playing a lot better. Of course, the week we didn't say anything about him, he decided to play better. But you can't put Zach Charbonnet, a backup running back, in your core four and then disagree with Tyjae Spears at his price.
I can. Watch me.
I'm just kidding. You can do whatever you want. It's a free country. You can do whatever you want.
There's nothing. First off, he spied the broadcast, or spied the podcast whenever you asked for a picture or asked for a shout out, and he said no. So Tyjae Spears, guess what? Down.
Not a friend of the pod.
Not a friend of the pod. Arch enemy of the pod. Debo Samuel, Tyjae Spears, 1 and 2 for me. That guy.
Oh,
that guy. Also, to clear up some stuff.
Friend of the pod, Tyjae Spears.
Friend of the pod.
AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, they're fine, man. They'll get over that. Jalen Hurts is actually AJ Brown's daughter's godfather. So let's relax.
Not for long.
You can't say if you're telling me that's that good of a relationship is because there's no way they formed that good of a relationship in the span of 2 years or how long they've been there. That's crazy to me.
I think they were friends before they went to Philadelphia.
Probably. That's just
a random fact of the day. But here's my lineups for this week. I've got Justin Herbert 5,900, Chuba Hubbard 6,500, Rico Dowell 6,100, Garrett Wilson 6,500, T. Higgins always makes me a little bit nervous, but I've got him in my lineup right now at 6,800. And boys, I just got this gut feeling that I haven't been able to shake all week. Xavier Worthy, book it, 5,100. He's awesome this week. I just got a weird feeling about it.
Yep.
Stone Smart at 2,600. Tyreek Hill, 7,400. I will not make that mistake again. And the Jets at 3,000. But that's my optimal lineup for this week. As of this moment, obviously the Tyjae Spears, Tony Pollard news is going to be massive and can completely change this entire lineup. So we're waiting to see what happens when that comes out. But kind of shifting. Go ahead.
That Xavier Worthy news, that's called a tingle in the plums. That's what that's called.
I can feel it in the plums. Two plums for one.
I need to mention this. Breece Hall did practice fully with a knee injury, but they did mention maybe lightening his workload at the end of this season because they have nothing left to play for, and they have two good rookie running backs in Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis, who performed admirably in his absence. So stay away from the Jets running backs. That kind of goes in the no touchy segment. So is that a good transition?
That's great. Yeah, go ahead and take over the no touchy segment.
No touchy on the Jets running backs. No touch. Like I said, they're going to lighten the workload. It's going to be a committee approach. I don't like it. No touchy. And I'm staying away from the Pittsburgh and Philadelphia game. George Pickens is out. Dr. Crashout is not playing this week for the Steelers. So their receiving core is absolutely decimated. And the Philadelphia Eagles defense has slowly become one of the best units in the NFL because their secondary is now turning up and they have a really good D-line assembled from the Georgia Bulldogs. We hate them, but they're pretty good at football. That's kind of my two no touchies.
Hold on. I got to say something before Cole goes because I can see the fire in his eyes and I cannot wait to see who's on this no touchy list. Cole, go ahead, brother.
All right, man. I'm glad. I'm going to share my screen for this one.
I knew it was coming.
Please don't. Please make it politically correct. Please do not put something up that's going to get us canceled. No touch. No touch.
I'll tell you what.
Dude, what? That's got to
This
be
was at
AI,
their-
right?
This is at their media day because this was another one that he took. It's the same photo shoot, dude. I died
No,
laughing
dude.
seeing these in the preseason. I died laughing.
Hey, Jay Kaner, you better not have a bad game. I'm telling you, right? You have a bad game. This is the end of your career if you have a bad game.
The confidence that this guy has to do this makes me want to put him in my lineup. I swear to God, the confidence that to do this inspires me to put him in. But dude, I mean that's not it. Let me pull up all of his pictures from that photo shoot real quick. He's been getting roasted.
As he should. That is ridiculous. Oh no, bro, I'm out. Oh no. No.
Golly, dude, no.
Dude, look at the wrist. Dude, the wrist. It's like so.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Nope, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't do it.
Oh, Cole, would you like to finish up? Anything else you got in no touching for this week?
Yeah, back tightness, Bucky. You're done. You're on the no touch list for a little while. Yeah, I was sick this past weekend, dude. I would have won serious money if this old man's back, who's only like 24, he's younger than me.
He's a rookie.
Yeah, he gets freaking back tightness. And then Alvin Kamara, I don't have faith in him this much either. And then Deebo Samuel.
He's already played.
And let me tell you.
Did he? Did he play? Honestly.
Not really.
Tell you what, that poor guy, Brock Purdy, we give Brock Purdy some crap too. Brock Purdy threw a slant right into his belly across the middle and knocked all that McDonald's loose that he has in his belly down there. He was great this year. And then he has the audacity to say he's not getting the ball. This in his past interview before the game. I mean, threw a slant, hit him right in the stomach with it. That's nobody to blame but yourself. And that's why I never picked you in my lineups, guy. Great job. You're doing great, guy. You're doing a great job.
Britton, please save us. This dude's on a rant now.
Yeah, we're in trouble now, boys. All right, so my no touchy for this week, Gabe, you kind of beat me to it, actually. I'm worried about the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Philadelphia defense, especially without Pickens. It makes me a little bit nervous to know Russell Wilson's been playing really good, but at the same time, losing your best target is going to affect. I think it's going to affect a lot of things. And Philadelphia's been playing really good, so I'm kind of out on all Pittsburgh offensive players this week. And then, gosh, I'm not going to say it. I was about to say no touch Will Levis, but I can't.
Yeah, you can't, dude. You can't. You got to keep him.
He pissed me off last week. He hurt me really bad.
That's your guy, dude. That's your guy.
But
you hurt me, Brett. You hurt me. You hurt me, Will. You hurt me.
Hurt me, Will.
I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you.
I'm going to get my sack back. I'm going to get my sack.
And then,
jeez, let's stop talking about Will Levis and sacks, please.
Or after Cole showed me those pictures, I'm definitely out on Haener for sure. But those are kind of my biggest no touch this week is the Pittsburgh offense. But what else y'all got for this week before we wrap? Anything else?
No, I think that pretty much covers up. Let's get out of here before we say something that's going to get us taken off YouTube forever.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week for Week 16. It's crazy how fast the NFL season's rolling, but hopefully you guys have an awesome week for Week 15. Happy hunting, and we'll catch you next week.
Damn, I got screwed.